the majority of the storm will be out of our area by Wednesday. But, and again, as I mentioned before, for folks, the 35,000 folks who have lost power already, this is going to be a haul because these power companies are not getting out there in the next 24 hours to fix this stuff, maybe the next 36 hours. And so everyone's going to be behind the eight ball in that regard. So I'm asking for folks to be patient. Now, remember, we will be vigilant on the power companies. We're not going to give them a pass on this. But on the other hand, we have to acknowledge that there are OSHA regulations that say, if the winds are 40 miles an hour or greater, that line workers are not allowed to get up in bucket trucks to fix lines. It's against federal law. So, we're not going to ask them to break the law to get somebody's power on sooner. Certainly, we're not going to ask them to put someone's life in danger to do it. So, for those people who have lost power already or will lose power between now and when I speak to you next, I'm going to have to ask for your patience because the storm lingering, as long as it's lingering, creates a real problem for us in terms of the ability for the companies to get out there with trucks to do it. The good news, though, is that we've gotten a lot of mutual assistance trucks from out of state. We have plenty of workers to get out there. The companies have really ramped up off of the investigation of last year's storm, and we have significantly more human resources available to us than we did in the run-up to Irene. So that's good news, and I think you'll see that help on the back end. But the back end won't start until later than usual because of the storm lingering.
So do you have an overview of what kinds of rescues are happening on the Barrier Islands? Are people being plucked in?
We'll give you a further detail later. I don't want to. I have some anecdotal stuff that I haven't had confirmed. I went through this a year ago. We had reports of a EMS worker dying, then saying he didn't die, then he did die. I don't want to go back through that stuff again. So I'll wait till I get this anecdotal stuff that we're hearing confirmed by law enforcement on the ground. And as soon as we get it confirmed, we'll pass it on to you. We won't wait till the next briefing. If we have stuff that we think is important for you to know, we'll pass it on. But I don't want to do it now, Jenna. I turned out to be wrong, then we're all wrong. You're right and stuff that turns out not to be right, and I don't want to put anybody in that position. But suffice to say, you certainly can say that there are rescues going on now on the Barrier Islands. Other questions from anybody? All right, so the schedule for the rest of the day, from my perspective, is we'll be briefing folks, local elected officials, at 1:15 today. I'll then be monitoring what's going on in the storm for the next few hours. I think you could look back for us to have another briefing here later on today. Maria, when are we doing the briefing here later on? Okay. So probably before 6:30. Then I'll ask the governor tonight from 7 to 8, and then we'll see what happens from there. If high tide comes in between 8 and 9 o'clock, that's going to really be the witching hour for us to see what we're dealing with from a flooding perspective. So I'll be monitoring it from there, and if there's a need for further briefings later tonight based upon that event, we'll certainly let you all know, and we'll give you a heads up as quickly as we can on that. But that's what I see going on for the rest of the day. There'll be another cabinet meeting this afternoon, and another briefing later on this evening, probably around 8:30 or so for elected officials across the state to keep them informed. We'll have another one, as I said, at 1:15. So we're keeping everybody informed. We're doing it on a uniform basis. And I'd say to folks out there who are listening, who are elected officials, don't be trying to call people side door, back door. It's not going to work. We're trying to keep this uniform so that everybody gets the same information at the same time. So don't ask your state legislator to call the chief of staff. Not going to work this time. So let's make sure everybody gets on the call at 1:15. Everybody's available to do that, and we'll give everybody the information, any new information that we develop between what I just said and 1:15, we'll share on that call. So thank all of you for being here. Appreciate it, and thank the folks who are watching. And we'll be back here later on this afternoon or early this evening to brief all of you again more fully. But the bottom line is stay home. That's the best way to stay safe. The storm is not at its apex yet. It's going to get worse between now and the next time I speak to you. So stay hunkered down, stay safe with your families. If you do that, we'll be ready to take care of the rest. Thank you all very much.